is now convened. Pam, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Slick,
Here.
Commissioner Alvarez,
Here.
Stoudemire Wesley, Commissioner Myers,
Here.
Chair Cruz.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I have a brief message to read. Notice to read. As required by state law, Prosper Portland has provided an opportunity for the public to access and attend this meeting in person. There's also a YouTube live stream video of the meeting, and the public has had the opportunity to arrange in advance to provide virtual testimony. At this time, the public may provide written testimony to the commission by emailing prospercommissioners@prosperportland.us. Again, prospercommissioners@prosperportland.us. Okay, so we'll start off with commissioner reports. Does anyone have anything they'd like to report? Nope. Yes, Commissioner Myers.
Yeah, so I attended the Interstate Bridge Replacement Industry Day, the Portland Metro Chamber's DC Fly-In, and the OWAMI's 36th Annual Trade Show. And I got to spend some time with some staff at that event at the booth. Jerron, Trevor, Brian, Deborah, Shabri, Wendy, Ellen, and Rachel. And they were great. So.
Great, thank you. All right, Commissioner Alvarez, do you have anything?
Nothing on this time, no, thank you.
Thank you. All right, then, we'll go to the Executive Director report with Kimberly Branham.
Chair Cruz, good afternoon, commissioners. Well, we are squarely in event season and conference season, so I've seen some of the commissioners out and about. Want to note that I attended on Thursday, April 25th, the PSU Annual Real Estate Conference. Michi Slick got a call out, Commissioner Slick got a call out there for her support of that important program. An exciting new leadership set to take over that important partnership at PSU. And then the 2024 Wings Conference with Commissioner Alvarez, who was one of the keynote speakers for a great conference. Catherine Kroniak on our team played a really instrumental role in expanding that. The conference was sold out, and it was exciting to see such a focus on the future economy that is sustainable and innovative, and great partnerships both from the public sector and private sector. This past Monday night, I attended the Oregon Tech Awards at OMSI and joined Commissioner Myers on the Portland Metro Chamber fly-in to DC, where we shared key priorities with the delegation around inclusive economic growth. And we're joined by a number of city council members as well as partners from the private sector. And this past Thursday, May 2nd, the Events and Film Office at Prosper Portland announced the latest round of recipients for the Community Event Grant for Spring and Summer 2024. There are 36 events that received grants, and they are all either free or low cost. You can find a complete list of recipients at portlandeventsandfilm.com, and you can go to the Grants Hub. But since we're in May, I want to just note that there are some grant recipient events happening this month. So on Saturday, May 11th, the St. John's Bazaar is taking place. On Wednesday, May 22nd through Saturday, June 1st, the 9th Annual Vanport Mosaic Festival is taking place. From Wednesday, May 22nd to Wednesday, May 29th, Portland is Great Scavenger Hunt is coming to Portland. And then from Friday, May 24th to Sunday, June 2nd, Survival and Interrogation of Art is coming forward. So lots to check out. I want to acknowledge the great work of the events office, particularly Burke and Amanda and Ness for leading all of these efforts and adding such energy and vibrancy during event season in Portland. As the commissioners are all very well aware, we are in the middle of the exploration process for potential new tax increment finance districts in the Central City and East Portland to facilitate thriving neighborhoods and build upon years of community planning efforts. Both the Central City and East Portland teams recently held open houses, and both teams are focusing considerable time and energy to ensure that community engagement work reaches the largest number of community members and neighbors and stakeholders. So we are aiming to come back to City Council in October or November of this year, and we are really hoping that people will let us know if there are events that you'd like us to speak at, and I want to extend the invitation to each of you if there are places that we should be. But you can find out more about where we are in the process and how to go to future open houses or meetings that are coming forward at prosperportland.us and search TIF Exploration. This work involves a lot of energy across basically the entire organization, but I want to particularly recognize Sarah Harpole and Kiana Ballo and Catherine Hartinger, Dana Decline, Roger Gonzalez, and Jesse Connor from the Portland Housing Bureau, who are spending a lot of time to get us to the finish line. As I mentioned last time, Prosper Portland is currently seeking grant proposals from nonprofits for projects in eligible districts that foster vibrant and healthy and inclusive neighborhoods. These are available through Community Livability Grant Program for permanent real property improvements. You can go to prosperportland.us/CLG to learn more, and applications are open from now until Friday, May 31st. Finally, I'm very excited to mention that we are now just 1 month away from this summer's My People's Market. It's coming back to the Red on Salmon Saturday, June 8th and Sunday, June 9th. We invite everyone to mark it on your calendars and join us for this fantastic event that happens in Portland with significant support from the Prosper Portland team. In particular, I want to recognize Amanda Park for her visionary leadership for this beloved event. You can find out more at mypeoplesmarket.com. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, next up, we have meeting minutes. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve the April 10, 2024 minutes?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
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 Pass unanimously, thank you. Okay, next up, we have public comment for items not on the agenda. We have one person who submitted a public testimony card. Is that all, Pam? Yes. Okay. So would Michael Harrison like to join us? All right. Welcome, sir. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Michael Harrison. I'm speaking on behalf of Portland's bicycling demographic. The e-bike industry is projected to reach over $100 billion by 2030. We are only going to see more e-bikes and bicycles on our streets. I have an unofficial signed petition here with 500 signatures I have collected that I'm delivering in support of a bicycle skyway system for Portland. These signatures were collected at the PSU Farmers Market over the summer of 2022. Generally speaking, the public seems to like the idea of a raised bicycle platform, from what I can tell at my petition signing events. Similar infrastructure already exists elsewhere around the world or is being proposed around the country. Bicycle skyway system is a good investment for Portland. It can increase commercial retail traffic if the off-ramps are nearby, and it equates out to more cash in the pockets of the average consumer. With costs rising, for example, car payments, gas, insurance, and repairs, e-bikes and bicycles are much more affordable for the average consumer, and a bicycle skyway system helps promote that. Car sales are decreasing overall, meanwhile, e-bike sales are increasing. There must have been 10,000 bicyclists on the streets of Portland during the Portland Bridge Pedal event last summer. It goes to show how many bicyclists get out when there are safe bicycle paths available. ODOT has multiple grants available for new transportation projects. A quick review of ODOT's statewide transportation improvement program, which is available through publicly requested emails, shows that there are typically hundreds of thousands of dollars juggled around between transportation projects. This money can be used for a preliminary engineering design of this kind of infrastructure. If you have any questions, there's more information in these signed petitions and packets I'm delivering. Thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you very much for coming. We have a tiny bit of time left. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming. Okay. Next up, we have an agenda item. Sorry, give me just one moment. We have a consent agenda item. And, this is a motion for resolution number 7528 regarding a reduction in force. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda item?
I so move.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. Next, we have item 7. This is an action item authorizing a special authority loan to Daimler Truck North America LLC in an amount not to exceed $1.5 million for the development of an electric vehicle service equipment center for competency and training. And Pam Neal and Catherine Kraniak will present. Welcome, Pam and Catherine.
Good afternoon, Director Branham, Chair Cruz, and Commissioners. I'm Pam Neal, and I manage the Business Advancement Team in the Economic Development Department at Prosper Portland. I'm happy to be here today to share with you how we can support Daimler Truck North America's business growth and long-term commitment to Portland.
A little more. There you go. Thanks.
Justin, do you want to? Oh, thanks. So we are requesting the board to authorize a $1.5 million forgivable loan for Daimler Truck North America to support the development of an electric vehicle service equipment center for competency and training. This project will bring a physical redevelopment to a site in Swan Island, build our technical expertise in clean technology in the city, and bring significant travel to the area. Before we get into the Daimler Truck North America project, I do want to share some information about the Business Advancement Team's work overall. Prosper Portland's Business Advancement Team is a catalyst for equitable economic development. We help businesses grow by providing support and identifying opportunities that foster the creation of living wage jobs in Portland. Our team focuses on inclusive job creation, business competitiveness, and equitable economic growth. We support 5 industries that align with Advance Portland: athletic and outdoor, green cities, food and beverage manufacturing, metals and machinery, and technology and media. And Daimler falls within 2 of these priority industries: green cities and metals and machinery. For some examples of the impact that we have had through our programming, the Business Advancement Team provides 250 businesses with tailored assistance every year. And through our diversity, equity, and inclusion programming, Portland Means Progress, businesses have spent more than $465 million at BIPOC-owned businesses in Portland. And our team, has supported 1,700 new living wage jobs in Portland since 2020. So since the summer of 2023, the Business Advancement Team launched the city's core business retention team in partnership with Commissioner Rubio and the Mayor's office. This provided a coordinated approach with our elected officials to prioritize and create new resources for businesses in the city. Since we launched this effort almost a year ago, the Business Advancement Team has conducted retention outreach and visits to more than 230 local businesses. And our team has successfully announced several expansions and retentions in the city. Some examples include ESCO, who will be moving into their new headquarters in the Northwest soon; Legit Script, who moved to the Big Pink and brought 150 employees; and Jaguar Land Rover, who just signed a 50,000 square foot lease in the Red Fox Commons; and Revant Optics, who just opened new space in the Northwest, and Sherpa Design took their old space in the Central East Side and expanded. Those are just a few examples of the companies that we worked with, that we've helped, that have retained more than 500 jobs in the city. And now I'd like to pass this to Catherine, who can tell you more about the Daimler Truck project specifically.
Good afternoon, Director Branham, Chair Cruz, and Commissioners. My name is Catherine Cognac, and I am the Green Cities Industry Liaison. So that means I work with companies in clean tech, climate tech, and green building. And you can probably imagine that right now is a really dynamic time for the industry. We have unprecedented amounts of federal funding coming into clean tech. The private sector is responding. But what that means is that regions and cities across the country are extremely competitive to both attract and retain these companies. So it's really exciting today to bring this project to you on some of the new investments that Daimler is looking at. Next slide. So Daimler Truck North America, just a little more context, or DTNA, if you hear that acronym, that's them. You may not know that they're one of the largest OEMs in North America for heavy-duty trucks. They have just over 40% market share. But even more exciting is their zero-emission practice. So I don't think we have the exact data, but we do believe they have the greatest number of heavy-duty electric vehicles on the road today. And they actually manufacture 2 of those lines, the EM2 and eCascadia, in Portland in their carbon neutral facility on Swan Island. So they are, the future of the company is in clean transportation. It is not only in the zero emission vehicles, but also in the infrastructure, which you'll hear about today, and autonomous trucking. So as you can imagine, this is just trying to paint the picture, this is a global player in this technology space that is still evolving. Next slide. And their impact on Portland is significant. They are the largest Green Cities employer in Portland. And as Pam mentioned, they also interface with the metals and machinery cluster. They, as you can imagine, with a company of the size, they really support local small businesses through procuring services, but also they interact with the metals and machinery supply chain. And with over 3,000 employees, what's really unique about DTNA is that they have a range of career opportunities. So you have folks with a high school diploma that can be working on the manufacturing floor, but also engineers, and also folks in the headquarters function. If you've ever met anyone from a DTNA, you'll soon find that they've worked there for maybe 10 years, 15 years. They've moved around the company. There's been a lot of career advancement opportunities there. So they really pride themselves on being an employer of choice. And I think we can agree that, with a strong diversity, equity, and inclusion program, that also helps retain employees. So on the DEI programming, they've been a really important partner for us on Portland Means Progress, bringing in diverse interns and also being one of the kind of anchor leaders on our supplier diversity roundtable. But they do a lot more. So they have volunteer hours for their employees. They host community events for free on their campus, and they have really strong partnerships with local academic institutions. Next slide. And they've been here for over 70 years, but I'll talk about the last decade. So there was a major milestone about over a decade ago in 2013 when they decided to consolidate a number of their offices around Portland and build a new headquarters on Swan Island, and then hire over 400 employees. So this was a major investment, and then they were supported with forgivable loans from Prosper Portland and from the state. And since then, this is just kind of a sampling of some of the ways that we've partnered over the years. But they've not only partnered with us, but supported the manufacturing innovation ecosystem, the Swan Island Business Association, and many, many more ways they've been a partner in the community. So this is just a timeline to show that today we're bringing this loan for your consideration, and then this center is hopefully going to be completed in 2026. Next slide. So let's talk about the EVSE Center. Again, EVSE is a fancy industry jargon for electric vehicle service equipment. So if you hear that, it's basically EV chargers. You can see here the Daimler headquarters, the project I just mentioned, is in the south. And then the EVSE Center is just intentionally adjacent to Electric Island. And Electric Island is a very unique project. It's the first public heavy-duty charging station in North America, but it's much more than that. This was a partnership with PGE and Daimler opened in 2021, and it's really a living lab for heavy-duty infrastructure charging innovation. So, for personal vehicles, we see those chargers on out in the market today, but for heavy-duty vehicles, you can imagine this is a whole just different level of technology and power requirements. And so if you've ever taken a tour, hopefully you have or you will in the future, you'll kind of see how they're able to swap out chargers, and they've literally made it a living lab. Next slide. And so as you can imagine, this is a tremendous asset for the community, and Daimler really wanted to make this asset more available to the wider community, both nationally and locally. And so the EVSE Center achieves 3 goals. So the first, that this is a national training facility. Individuals, so technicians, sales reps, engineers from across the Daimler network will be flying into Portland and getting trained on the latest in technology innovation for EV infrastructure for heavy-duty vehicles. We're estimating in that first 2 years, and also keep in mind, these first 2 years will be the starting point, and then the intention is that this grows and scales. Those first 2 years will have about 600 visitors, but 10,000 training hours. And the second role of the center is to be the National Center for Competency in the EV infrastructure. So again, this is kind of putting a stake in the ground that this is the place where innovation for heavy-duty infrastructure is happening. And this really helps us to showcase Portland as a leader in innovation and clean tech. And the team will be hosting at least 2 national events in the zero-emission vehicle space, kind of reflecting this goal. The third goal is, again, to make this an asset for the community. I think that the team will share with you, they're very passionate about this. This would be, being able to host, they'll be hosting at least 12 events for local schools, nonprofits, or colleges, universities, to kind of learn about the technology. And that could either be a tour, but it could also be co-curriculum development with local community colleges. There's just a lot of opportunity there, and this building enables that. Next slide. So for the proposed loan terms, the timeline is looking like we're hoping that the center will be completed by the end of 2026. And then once the certificate of occupancy is issued, that then starts the timeline. So 24 months after that, the team would need to deliver on 3 metrics. One would be 10,000 training hours. The second would be attracting 2 national events. And the third would be at least 12 events with local partners. And then if they meet those metrics after 24 months, then the loan would be forgiven. Construction timelines can change for any number of reasons. So we did allow for at least one 12-month extension if something happens. And the team will be complying with the construction business and workforce equity policy as well as the green building policy. So that is my portion of the presentation. And I believe we'd like to, for the next slide, invite up our partners at Daimler for testimony. Is that
Great.
great?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you. I guess I understand we have Nathan Hill and Andrew Gerberts with us. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Chair Cruz and Director Branham. Really excited to be here to talk about this project. And especially here in Portland, where I've lived for a number of years. We are doing everything we can at Daimler Truck in pursuit of our sustainable future. And we intend to pursue that vision and mission in a way that also helps bring additional prosperity to Portland, a city that we have and community that we absolutely love. My name is Nate Hill. I have been fortunate to work here in Portland for the last 17 years at Daimler Truck North America. My current role at Daimler Truck is Director of Zero Emission Vehicle Infrastructure and Consulting. At Daimler Truck, the phrase we use to describe our purpose is simple: for all who keep the world moving. The following is taken directly from our corporate purpose statement. Our customers move the world. They ensure that goods and people reach their destinations, that our everyday lives can function, and that prosperity is created. The studies show that demand for mobility and transport will continue to grow. The products and services of our customers will be needed more in the future than they are today or in the past. The driving force for us at Daimler Truck is to provide our customers with the best possible support in their work. We develop the right vehicles and services for them. Efficient and electric, safe and automated, reliable and connected. We are always there for our customers, for all who keep the world moving. That's our mission and what drives us and what unites us. Generally, I would show a video, but I'm told I don't have time for that. So I'll maybe send you a link later for that. For our contribution to the vision of this purpose statement, my team is focused on enabling electric commercial vehicles. Though our company has made huge strides in improving emissions of diesel vehicles over many decades, those opportunities for incremental improvements are diminishing. The step we have chosen to take next is to convert our entire North American portfolio of vehicles to zero-emission vehicles by the year 2039. And indeed, we are making huge progress towards that goal. In fact, if the city of Portland were interested in ordering a fleet of Class 6 or Class 8 fully electric vehicles from us today, hint, hint, we are ready and happy to take that order.
We have.
Great, awesome. Great to hear that. We'd love to have folks come to our Portland truck plant to witness the build of those electric vehicles right here in Portland on Swan Island. Now, here's the catch. When Portland receives those electric vehicles, the fleet managers will quickly learn that the infrastructure to support those vehicles must be done right. When it is done right, the experience of saving money and experiencing near 100% uptime can be realized. But generally, the EV industry has not made good on that promise. You have likely read this before, or if you drive an EV, you have witnessed it yourself. An electric vehicle, with all of its many advantages, is only as good as the charging infrastructure to support it. If the charger is down, the vehicle is idle. An idle commercial vehicle has no value. Without robust charging infrastructure, our vision of a tailpipe emissions-free future will remain only a dream. And so, persistent and relentless in our purpose, Daimler Truck is now significantly involved in vehicle charging equipment and solutions. Despite constant pressure on research and development budgets, amid the most expensive transformation of our industry in many generations, we have committed to improving the charging infrastructure for commercial vehicles. And our efforts, centered here in Portland, Oregon, have been noticed and applauded. Evidence of this commitment can be seen in the inauguration of the very first of its kind public charging station designed specifically for commercial vehicles. We call this Electric Island, and Catherine shared some information about that. And we are proud to have conceptualized and built it in cooperation with a great partner, Portland General Electric. Electric Island stands as a model and a beacon to those in the commercial EV space. Thanks in part to the novelty and utility of Electric Island, we have been able to successfully compete to host several significant events in Portland, including the Global Charin Conference and Testing Symposium, and also national events for significant industry groups such as Edison Electrical Institute and the Electrical Power Research Institute. You may have heard of megawatt charging. We are proud that the North American reveal of this significant new charging standard that will be used for decades on many continents by many significant OEMs happened right here in Portland at our DTNA headquarters. We have also had the privilege of hosting customer visits from across the continent. CEOs of major companies from across the globe, state and federal senators, governors, representatives, mayors, and many others, all at Electric Island. Last year, as peak evidence of Electric Island's impact, the U.S. Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Granholm, drove an all-electric Freightliner EM2 around Swan Island, pulled into Electric Island, and plugged into one of our branded chargers. This was an absolute highlight of my career, and I believe a good reminder to all of us of a significant opportunity for Portland to be on the map as a center of EV technology well into the future. As proud as we are of all of these past accomplishments, we recognize that all things great and small will diminish if not properly tended. And so we continue to plan the next phases of our efforts to lead the industry in the areas of commercial vehicle charging technology and training. And so we sit here before you today with gratitude and with hope. To explain our intentions and purpose for this next phase of our efforts, I am pleased to turn the time over to my friend and colleague, Andrew Gerbitz, to address the commission. We will both be, of course, very happy to take any questions after his comments.
Thanks, Nate. I'd like to start out by thanking the commissioners and Executive Director Branham for the opportunity to speak today. And on behalf of Daimler Truck North America, my name is Andrew Gerbitz, and I am the manager of our Zero Emission Vehicle Consulting and Training team. My team consists of vehicle and charging infrastructure experts who specialize in supporting the needs of our various fleet customers as they transition to new zero-emission vehicle technologies. We also support our dealership network, who is responsible for directly selling our vehicles to the majority of these fleets nationwide. We are a small but mighty team of 8, and we quickly learned that the only way to scale our knowledge here was by starting to offer all different types of in-person training sessions to our dealership network here in Portland. As a whole, the charging infrastructure industry, as Nate mentioned, is a relatively new and nascent one. Electric Island showcases an industry-leading approach to learning, developing, and testing charging hardware and software with the goal of increasing the uptime of both our trucks and charging equipment. Thus, my team and I have unique access to both our vehicle engineers here and our charger interoperability test engineers, and need to be able to share this knowledge and the insights that we've gathered across our dealership network. We started small with 1 class per month focused on training our dealership network's new truck salespeople on how to right-size charging infrastructure solutions to help support electric trucks. Within other departments, other trainings like high voltage safety for safe commissioning and decommissioning are being created too. Overall, dealership participants have said that these trainings are challenging, but their feedback is overwhelmingly positive. They've described the trainings like going back to school to take a really intense science class. Think less mechanical movement and more physics and more electrical basics. If large-scale change is going to stick, we need to bring everyone at the dealership along. The new truck salespeople, the parts people, the service technicians, and even the dealership's management team. We need to educate our new truck salespeople who are actively coaching fleets today on the trade-offs between zero-emission and internal combustion vehicles. We need to educate the parts people on the right parts to stock and the right parts to order to keep our trucks moving and our chargers running. We need to educate our parts salespeople on the features and advantages and benefits of all of the various charging hardware specifications and configurations to make proper recommendations based on a fleet's operations. We need to educate our service managers and technicians to safely provide the hands-on repairs to our new powertrains, vehicle safety systems, and charging equipment. And lastly, we need to educate the dealership's management team on how best to engage with their local utilities as they retrofit their dealerships to support these new technologies. The challenge is a monumental one, and we've only just begun. Last month, we announced a new EV certification program that will encourage our dealership network to invest in these trainings necessary to support this new technology. And while our growth plan is ambitious, we believe that building out a new training center here in Portland is the best way to offer high-impact, high-quality trainings that will establish Portland as a center for competency and training for the sales, service, and maintenance of medium and heavy-duty commercial vehicles and the necessary charging equipment. No one in our industry is taking such a holistic approach, and educating all of the key stakeholders is critical to enabling this technology transformation. We're committed to hosting national events like organizations that Nate mentioned, Edison Electrical Institute and the Electric Power Research Institute, as a way of continuing to build on Portland's reputation as a hub for clean tech. With this new building, we also believe we have the ideal space to start hosting more global events like the organization Charin, who's been a leader in developing various charging standards like the MCS or Megawatt Charging Standard. Lastly, as a North Portland resident, I'm proud to be supporting an initiative within our company that not only makes us a leader in our industry, but will help to root us in our community. We are committed to hosting community organizations like local schools, community college, and various nonprofits in the space as well. We have an ambitious goal as a global company that by 2039, all of our vehicles will be zero emission. And as a proud parent of a 16-month-old, I look forward to the day 15 years from now when he'll be learning to drive in a world where Daimler Truck no longer manufactures vehicles with direct emissions. This training center can be one of the first key building blocks to help us educate our industry during such a monumental shift in vehicle propulsion technology. Thank you again for your time and willingness to consider this important project for our company, our community, and our city. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate you being here today, and thank you for your comments. The commissioners have any questions or comments?
Where do I sign up for
I
the
would.
factory tour? That sounds great. I just want to celebrate this moment because Prosper does so much work in supporting the full spectrum of businesses, from small businesses to our large employers. And this is such a key partnership to help bring really, really important industry work and forward-moving technology to our area, and to really help incentivize further private investment as well. And I think the ripple effect here is not just Daimler's private investment in the Portland area, but also there's going to be other private investment that'll result from this investment and the employment that it creates. So thank you, and thank you to the Prosper team who's worked so hard on this, and I really just would like to celebrate this, so thanks.
Oh,
I'd welcome an opportunity to say something as well. Can't say the whole room.
please do.
Sure, thank you. So I wanted to echo Commissioner Slick's remarks about just a point of pride in the effort that Prosper Portland has led in facilitating this. So Pam and Catherine, thank you for your efforts. It is great to see programs like this. And then to the folks from Daimler, as someone who's in the electrification space, specifically commercial electrification, albeit marine, I just want to impart that the work that you all do is so important for everyone in the EV industry. And I say this as a startup who is working in this space. I have seen, as a point of pride, the effort and the infrastructure that has gone into creating Electric Island, the megawatt charging station, as well as all the suppliers that are part of the EV value chain that look at Daimler as a potential customer, that because of that, creates traction with individual consultants and resources that are then part of the EV ecosystem. And so we have all been able to, I think, leverage the work that you all have done to facilitate each of our businesses. We're also based on Swan Island. There are a number of other startups that are doing work and are able to do so because of, and if you're part of the boat fund, a rising tide lifts all ships, and you all have certainly created an ecosystem by being another boat fund anchor tenant of this industry that allows us to really step foot in with pride on Swan Island and really build our businesses. And so whether you realize it or not in the day-to-day, like programs such as this can really help train a workforce for future startups that are part of an electrification cluster. And it is just phenomenal to see the continued investment in Portland in electrification, because it is certainly something that we believe can really be an economic driver for our region for decades to come. So just my hats off to the team at Prosper that have led this, and again to the Daimler side. Look forward to learning and seeing the trainings that will come from an EVSE center like this. It will certainly benefit all sorts of electric systems for generations to come. And so we're very proud to have your leadership in this space. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Well, I can't really add too much to all those great comments, but I would just express my own appreciation to the Prosper team for your hard work on this, and to Daimler just for your commitment to our area and to Portland. I know that you had other options, but you've chosen to concentrate all these efforts here in Portland, and just on behalf of the city and on behalf of Prosper, we're just greatly appreciative of your continued support of the city and the people who live here. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming today. With all that in mind, would anybody like to make a motion to approve resolution number 7529, approving the special authority loan, the amount of $1.5 million?
I so move.
Thank you.
Second.
Thanks very much. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks so much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the time today.
Okay, so our next item is an action item also. adopting budget amendment number 3 for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023 and ending June 30, 2024, and making appropriations. And Tony Barnes, our Chief Financial Officer, will present. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Chair Cruz, Commissioners, Executive Director Brana. I'm Tony Barnes, CFO with Prosper Portland, and I'll be presenting the what we think is the final budget revision for the current fiscal year, for fiscal year 23-24, included as Resolution 7530, and includes Exhibit A, which includes the amended appropriations. Next slide, please. This budget revision is the third and likely final budget revision of the year and focus on aligning the budget with our year-end forecast for revenues and expenditures. The request is mostly technical and timing in nature and does not include any major changes to the 5-year forecast or priorities within. Most of the appropriation changes included in the budget revision adjust capital budget expenditures in the TIF districts and some economic development program funds in the general fund and cannabis funds, moving the next fiscal year based on the implementation of projects and programs. And this will bring the TIF district resources expenditures aligned with our proposed budget. They'll be presented to City Council tomorrow. Proposed budget for next fiscal year. The budget also incorporates an adjustment for administrative spending to ensure there is adequate appropriations in place of completing several current year initiatives that I'll discuss later in the presentation. Next slide, please. To recap our current fiscal year, this slide provides a high-level schedule of the budget monitoring process for the year. Earlier in the year, our first budget revision focused on programming the Strategic Investment Fund as well as the Retention Fund. And our second amendment focused on truing up fund balances based on the prior year audited fund balances, financial statements. As noted, the purpose of this budget revision is to focus on aligning our budget with our current forecast of expenditures and revenues that we've monitored throughout the year and are beginning to look at the end of the fiscal year. We'll continue to monitor expenditures through May to determine if any final adjustments are needed. We don't think there's a need for an additional budget amendment, but if needed, we'll come before you in June with any requests. Next slide, please. In reviewing current year activity, this slide highlights spending and related activity through the end of March. The 3 quarters through the fiscal year are 75%. We're on track with our operating budget. A normal trend through November would be about through March would be about 75% spent. And we've spent about 70% of the budget, which includes agency-wide staffing of 98 positions, and $4.1 million in non-personnel related, like central services, systems, facilities, training, and other agency-wide support services. The total TIF district spending totals about $38 million in loans, grants, and real estate development and other activities, such as completing the demolition of the USPS facility, and another $23 million in non-TIF program spending, including the Inclusive Business Resource Network, Neighborhood Prosperity Network, workforce development programs, and grants to small businesses. Incorporated in these numbers are a total of 564 grants that have been approved this year for $17 million, ranging from the Prosperity Investment Program grants that support development of small businesses, as well as repair and restore grants, such as the Social Equity and Economic Development grants funded by the cannabis funds. A total of 21 loans for a total of $9 million has been issued through the 3rd quarter. This is a really significant number. This is the highest number of loans that has been issued in a fiscal year in a number of years. Next slide, please. In summary, total changes in resources includes a reduction of federal grants. This is the American Rescue Plan Fund grants, where some funding is being moved via the City of Portland Spring Bump that was recently approved upon Prosper's request to move some of these funds to next fiscal year. So that's a decrease of about $2 million you'll see in grants, federal. TIF debt proceeds of $3.7 million is related to Gateway primarily, where there's a long-term bond in place, and those draws are not needed this fiscal year, so we're just moving them to next fiscal year to align to some anticipated projects moving forward next year. Property income has decreased about $1.9 million. Most of this is related to removing anticipated sales income related to parcels in Old Town that will be forecast for future fiscal years based on more conservative timing assumptions. Revenues from parking and leasing activities has also shifted, but not changing overall. There is decreased lease activity in the forecast, but higher parking and some revenues associated with the Innet Convention Center as we move towards the fourth quarter. Next slide, please. On the expenditure side and requirements side, total appropriations in this action have been decreased by $13 million. This is a roll-up across all the funds in Exhibit A. So in some areas there are increases, but overall there's a net decrease. Most of these funds will be reappropriated, as I mentioned, in development infrastructure projects to next fiscal year based on TIF action plans. We're recommending an increase in transfers, cash transfers, to sweep some additional residual program income from expiring TIF districts from several TIF districts, mainly the Central East Side district to the Strategic Investment Fund. And we'll see more of that as we enter into next fiscal year and more districts conclude. But this is a follow-on from the initial $45 million transfer that happened earlier this fiscal year. After reductions in revenue assumptions and TIF district debt drawdowns and the reduced expenditures, this results in a net $2.6 million in contingency, an increase in contingency that will increase beginning fund balances in next year's proposed budget. Next slide, please. So next 3 slides, I think, just comment a little bit more on some of those specific appropriation changes, which are summarized here, but provide more detail in Exhibit A. Economic development, the net decrease is $706,000. Most of this is related to the City of Portland Spring bump or budget amendment action upon Prosper's request to move resources related to the seed fund and Reimagine Oregon to next fiscal year, as well as some TIF exploration dollars that we continue to work on as we explore different TIF district options. And also, there was a swap of ARPA resources for general fund, so we're actually receiving more general fund to finalize $1 million for restore grants that were previously funded with American Rescue Plan funds. And there's a reduction in American Rescue Plan funds for workforce and Venture Portland contracts related to that grant that's moving to next fiscal year as well. Next slide, please. On property redevelopment, the largest category, there's a net decrease of $9.2 million across districts. Most of this is related to development projects as well as lending activity. There's an increase in the budget for Lents for a potential loan there for development. That, if not used by June 30th, would be rolling over later in the budget process next fiscal year. Then we're also looking at moving about $700,000 in grants and then $11.7 million for projects in Gateway, North Macadam, and Cascade Station disposition projects, all to next fiscal year. On property operations and holding costs, there's a net zero change overall to operating costs and holding costs. There are some increases and decreases. There is an increase to 10th and Yamhill security costs and Innet Convention Center maintenance, but there are some decreases with Union Station and several parking garage operations. But all rolled together, it's about a very small change overall. Next slide, please. The last 2 categories are infrastructure administration and administration. There's a net $3.4 million to infrastructure. This is related to allocations in North Macadam for the Willamette Greenway and 4th Avenue improvements. These contracts are anticipated to finish spending next fiscal year. 4th Avenue is underway. PBOT expects finishing the billings in December. And Central East Side, looking at infrastructure improvements there with the OMSI master plan and other projects all next fiscal year. And finally, the administrative category, there's a net increase of $111,000. This includes a couple of changes. It includes moving a planned disparity study from this fiscal year into next year, and a couple increases, which includes some HR consulting increases to finish contracts related to class comp, equal pay audit, and some other review contracts this fiscal year, and also some additional facility common area maintenance CAM expense that was not included in the adopted budget. That's actually an expense that will be more likely ongoing. That wasn't included in the budget originally. So the request includes this net increase. However, we anticipate there will be some year-end savings or reductions in other areas that could fund these areas, but this provides adequate appropriation to make sure all commitments are honored. And with that, I will be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Questions? No? All good. Commissioner Alvarez, any questions? No?
No questions.
Okay. Well then, would somebody like to make a motion to approve resolution number 7530, adopting budget amendment number 3?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Great, yes, unanimously. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the presentation. All right, well, if there's no further comments, anybody have anything? No? All right, the Prosper Portland Board of Commissioners meeting is now adjourned. Thanks to everyone for coming.